Guys, welcome back to the Jay's Fit Down Show. I'm your host, Jay, and I'm here today with Nick Winkler, my good friend here, as huge 49ers fan. And, he's come on the show before. He's going to preview the 49ers and Falcons game with us on Sunday Night Football. Nick, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet, Jaden. This is going to be a good Sunday night football matchup, I think. If the 49ers have enough healthy players to get on the football field, that is.
Right, right. Yeah, speaking of which, man, it's been an injury-riddled year for the 49ers, unfortunately. Brock Purdy, you guys have had other players get hurt as well in the defense. So talk about how Fred Warner, in the game last week against the Bucks, that's a huge loss. So yeah, you're 4-2 and first in the NFC West. How's it coming along?
Yeah, I mean Fred Warner, that's a huge loss. He's the leader of the football team. He's the captain. He's the heart and soul of the 49ers, both on offense and defense, says a lot about a guy who doesn't play both sides of the football. But that's going to be felt, obviously, for the rest of the season. Losing Nick Bosa early in the year, that was rough.
Yeah.
You said it. Brock Purdy, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk still not back. Pierce Hall's been out. Jennings playing with 5 broken ribs. I mean, this is a banged up football team, and yet they keep finding ways to win. And I think that has a lot to do with the coaching staff. I mean, the way Kyle Shanahan runs his offense and kind of molds it perfectly for what Mac Jones can do versus what Brock Purdy can do. And on the other side of the football, I mean, Robert Saleh has been huge coming back to the 49ers, with his little stint there with the Jets that I'm sure he'd probably like to forget. But as defensive coordinator, he's fantastic. He knows exactly, he's like the Kyle Shanahan of the defense. He knows what his guys can do, right? And you're going to see a little bit different defense this week than you've seen the first 6 weeks because they don't have Fred Warner. They don't have that all-pro future Hall of Famer there clogging up the middle. So they're going to need to do some other things to kind of protect the loss of him, because you could see it in that game against Tampa Bay. Once Fred went out, they were attacking the middle of the football field. They knew Fred Warner's not in there. Bethune can't do what Fred Warner can do. Let's do, again and again, middle, and it worked out. So obviously the Falcons they saw that and they're going to say, okay, this is something we're going to try to do. And Salah's going to know that, and he's going to be prepared. And it's going to be real interesting to see what this football team looks like come Sunday night.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. I was watching that game. I was rooting for you guys because, of course, I need Tampa to lose every
Yeah,
game,
yeah.
as possible. And the 49ers were still hanging around until Baker just like turned on Terminator mode, and
MVP right
um,
now, right? I mean, Baker's
yeah.
playing out of his mind because they're banged up too. I mean, Evans has been out, Ibuka just went out, but he's still finding a way. It doesn't matter who's catching balls for him to do the right thing. So it's pretty impressive right now. Our two divisions, the NFC West and the NFC South, surprising. Carolina's starting to turn it on. I mean, the Bucks are playing well. You guys are playing well in the West. The Rams, the Niners, the Seahawks, all sitting at 4-2. Like this is going to be a real interesting, final 10 weeks of the season here.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's just crazy. Like you said, Carolina, they're playing, good as well. They beat us a couple weeks ago, and so now they're 3-3. We're 3-2. The Bucks, what, 5-1. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that all plays out. So this is going to be a very important matchup for us
Yeah.
on Sunday night. So
Let me ask you something real quick. So I remember when Carolina beat Atlanta and Cousins came in kind of in garbage time to kind of clean things up. And then afterwards, there's a lot of talk about like, oh, maybe they're going to go to Cousins, blah, blah, blah. But then you win that game, go into a bye. And then you guys look fantastic beating the Bills on Sunday night. You think that maybe was because of the 2 weeks you guys had to prepare for Buffalo? Or do you think they kind of figured something out and that's going to, carry over into this short week for you guys
yeah.
traveling across the country? That's a tough task for any football team.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. But I definitely think the bye week helped. You get 2 weeks to kind of get film on Buffalo, and you see that the Bills are one of the last ranked teams against defending the run, and the Falcons
Yep.
exploited that. Bijan had over 238 yards of scrimmage.
So good.
I mean, he's I don't have any words for him.
I get it. We have Christian McCaffrey. Like
So
there's
you know
no
how it
word.
is. You get it.
He's just the best, right? I mean,
Right.
I get it. I'm scared to play Bijan this weekend because of how great he's looked all season. It's not
Yeah.
just this game. He talk about MVP, possibilities, or at least offensive player of the year is like he's got to be right up. I think right now offensive player of the years might be Bijan and Christian
Christian
McCaffrey. Like I
McCaffrey,
think
yes.
they're the top two guys right now, and so this is exactly what NBC and Peacock want in a Sunday Night Football game is just two awesome players, two teams that are sitting really great right now when it comes to how they're playing football and their records. And yeah, this is, man, I can't even tell you how excited I'm actually going to the game. I'm going to be
Oh,
there.
really?
So yeah, I got a
Okay.
buddy who just yesterday was like, "Hey, my wife can't go to the game. Do you want to go?" Yes.
Yeah,
Minute,
that's
minute.
no question. No
No,
hesitation.
I mean, I knew where that was going. So it's like, yes, I'm in.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun, man. I mean, Levi's always seems like a great atmosphere, and the Super Bowl's gonna be there this year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It's a great place. I mean, there's nothing like 60,000 people excited, and the energy that can be felt. When I went to the Jacksonville game this year, and obviously that was not the best game to go to, as the 49ers had 4 turnovers and lost the football game. But at one point they had an interception. It got called back because of a penalty. But like when that interception happened, man, that place shook. Like it's just Levi's really gets into it. They it took a couple of years for that place to kind of become a home field advantage, but it's definitely there for the 49ers now.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a hard place to play, for sure. And the one thing I'd be concerned about for us, is just offensively. I think listen, defensively, we're doing great, man. And it feels like a weird to say the Falcons have the number one ranked defense.
Yeah, they're giving up
I
the
mean,
fewest amount of yards, right, per game in the NFL, and their offense has the second most yards per game in the NFL. So you guys are playing fantastic right now. I'm worried, that's for sure.
it's just crazy to say, man. This is a team where defense has been a struggle for some years now, and it's finally come around. Pass rush has finally come around. So, Jeff Ulbrich, getting him from the Jets has really helped. So it's going to be interesting to see how they, attack the 49ers. And especially, offensively, I think we're a little still figuring things out. I think Michael Penix is getting there. I think that's a good way to
Mm-hmm.
describe it. He's getting there. Only 8 starts in to his career,
Yeah.
but you know,
And Drake
um,
London looks like a legit number one. And, you mentioned former 49er Jeff Elbrick. Yeah, he's a fantastic coach. He totally gets it. And, yeah, Penix, he looks like he could be the real deal. It's still early, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for. I'm rooting for, a couple of mistakes come
yeah.
Sunday night. Salah brings some
Right.
weird pressure that, he hasn't brought all year. And they can figure out a way to get to him and kind of disrupt his game. But and it's not just Bijan either out of that backfield. Like I think Algier would be a
Yeah.
starter on half the teams around the NFL right now, and they got pretty amazing 1-2 punch there.
Yeah, they do for sure. So, what would you say, man, that you're looking forward to seeing your 49ers do in this matchup so they could get the win against Falcons?
Yeah, I mean it's just prevent turnovers, right? That's the 49ers when they lose football games, it's because they turn the football over. When they lost to Jacksonville, it was 4 turnovers, right? And then, just this week against Tampa, it was 2 terrible interceptions from Mac Jones that really did the 49ers in. So if they can kind of keep that under wraps and just play their style of football, which is hold the ball, possession, little slants, little outs, little this and that, give Christian McCaffrey 25 touches
Yeah.
and hope that they can actually convert some third downs. That's what they need to do. And what would be really nice too, Jaden, which the 49ers haven't done in a really long time, get an interception. The 49ers don't have one this year. It's like back to like week 12 or something of last year. It's been a really long time since the 49ers have intercepted a football. So if they can win that turnover battle, they got a really good chance of winning this football game.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. And like I said, I mean, Christian McCaffrey, like you talk how Bijan scares the crap out of you. Christian McCaffrey scares the crap out of me.
Yeah,
He
as
has
he
been since
should.
he's been in Carolina. That
Oh
dude's
yeah,
something else, man.
he is. He's just a unique talent. He's one of those guys that, gets 5 or 6 catches a game too and turns them into 50 or 60 yards. So he's not just, the 49ers haven't been able to run the ball extremely well this year, but they stick with it. And so it keeps that defense honest and it keeps them up front and, it opens up some passing lanes. So maybe they can get that actually going. It's going to be tough, like you said, against the number one ranked defense in the NFL. But hopefully we can change that, make you guys 2 or 3 after this week, put
Oh,
up some
come on,
yards.
man. Oh, yeah, man. I'm excited. It's gonna be a fun one. It always is when we play when the 49ers and the Falcons play, it's always a good game, because again, Shanahan knows the Atlanta kind of culture very well, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being here before and everything. So, and we
Well, and
know
this might be a little bit before your time, but Do you, they used to be in the same division, right? It used to just be two divisions, the East and the West. And for some reason, the Falcons and the Saints were with the 49ers in the West. Like, it was really
Wow.
weird way back in the day. So obviously with realignment,
Yeah.
they figured some things out that they shouldn't be in the same division. But yeah, they know each other really well. My very first football game was back in I want to say 87 or 88, and it was against the Falcons, and the Falcons beat us that day. And I remember my dad being like, "I hate the Falcons." So since then, I've always hated the Falcons. So it's one of those things just kind of rooted inside you. Even though I have no reason to really hate them now, it's just something about that one memory from when I was a child. It has stuck with me all this time.
Hey, I understand. Listen, I understand. I feel like I should be the same way with the Patriots, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, I can't, and they're playing well too this year, right now. So yeah, man, it'll be a great matchup. I think for us, yeah, definitely it's going to be, to get that offense going early, score fast, take advantage of injury riddled 49ers defense, especially Nick Bosa being out. So,
Mm.
um, you
Yeah,
know,
Bosa and Warner. I mean, that's two guys that what's highest paid at their position in the NFL, and there's a reason they're paid as such. And yeah, they've been missed, and hopefully Saleh can fill those gaps against you guys because, like I've said multiple times now, I'm very nervous for this football game.
Hey, but that's the life of the NFL, right?
It is.
So yeah, so moving on, man. What team has surprised you the most this year? I know a lot. It's the NFL this year is like you said, it's very, I think it's hard to kind of say who's going to do what at this point in the year, right? So
Yeah.
what team has surprised you, man, this year?
I mean, I think there's two teams that have surprised me the most, and I think they're pretty obvious out there. One, in a positive way, it's the Indianapolis Colts with the way they've played football,
Yeah,
the way Daniel Jones has kind of resurrected his career there and made Jonathan Taylor. If Bijan or Christian McCaffrey aren't Offensive Player of the Year, it's going to be Jonathan Taylor. So they've played extremely well. Their defense has played well, as and that's something to be said for a team that wasn't predicted to do anything. Right? Houston was kind of predicted to run away with that division again, and that's going to be tough for them to overtake the Colts with the way they're playing football. And I think on the other side, the flip side of this thing, it's got to be the Baltimore Ravens, right? Which is how poorly they've played football, and what's they're expected every year to be in the playoffs, if not make a push for the Super Bowl. And you can't blame it on Lamar Jackson being hurt either, because that's just been the last couple of weeks. They weren't playing well before that. Their defense is not what the Ravens have had in the past when it comes to just that stout, defense, that offensive fear, right? And you don't fear the Ravens right now. I play a lot of fantasy football, Jaden, and right now you're looking for guys that are going up against the Baltimore Ravens. You're like, oh, they're going to score a ton of points. Get those
yeah.
guys in your lineup. So both of those teams have obviously really surprised me. And one more kind of dark horse team that has played very well based on what we expected of them coming in, and that's the Saints. I know they're not winning a ton of football games, but they played the Niners extremely well week 2. And I've been impressed with what Rattler's done there at offense, because I think that was a team that coming in, everybody's like, they're going to be lucky to win 1 or 2 football games. Now, I don't see a 1 or 2 win football team, maybe 4 or 5. But I think that they maybe found something. I think Rattler might be the quarterback there going forward. I'd be surprised if Kamara's around too much longer. I think they might move him to get some more draft capital for a team that's kind of building for the future. But I'll be honest with you, I think the Falcons might have to be put into that category as well as surprise teams, because after that loss to the Panthers, I expected a nosedive, and they've really righted the ship, and they're looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, for sure. I think all of us here, man, were very just shocked at that. I think the team needed it,
Yeah.
to get back right. And like I say, against Buffalo, granted they were injury riddled, but so were Atlanta in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So they came in, they just ran the football, man, and attacked them. And listen, containing Josh Allen is very hard. You know this.
Yeah.
And they were able to do so. And I mean, not having a vertical threat down the field is going to hurt you.
Yeah. Yeah, and
So
we don't really have one, so I expect a lot of the same coming from Atlanta this weekend. They blitzed him so much. They blitzed Buffalo more than anybody's blitzed Buffalo, I think, in the last couple of years. And I think that's really, you mentioned it. You put pressure on Josh Allen, and he's got to make quick decisions, and that's not exactly his forte, right? His forte is read, run. And if you're getting pressure on him and he's not even able to make that second read, and then you're tackling him or sacking him before he can get out of the pocket, That's how you beat Buffalo, and that's how you're going to beat San Francisco too. Is you make Mac Jones make some quick decisions. I doubt we see Brock Purdy again this year, or this not this year. We'll
I'm
see
about to
him
say
this year,
what this year.
just not this week. Not
Okay.
this week. And Mac's been playing extremely well. I think you just got to let Brock heal up as long as you possibly can, and just keep running Mac Jones out there, and hope that they can make the quick passes, make the quick reads. Because if I'm Atlanta, I'm doing the same thing I did against Buffalo and just bringing the house often.
Yeah, Falcons actually lead the NFL in blitz rate. So interestingly,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like, man, Matt Jones, yes, he's played very well in Brock's absence. I've got to give him his credit there. He's played very well because it's hard, man. Step in and start, especially on a team like that, and it's just you got injuries around you. So it's especially you're sitting at the top of the division. And it's like everybody, you got that pressure, right, to maintain what you're doing. He's he's doing the best he can. So
He is, and he's been doing it without weapons, right? I mean, again, no Ayuk. He's had George Kittle's been out since week one. Hopefully, he's practicing right now, so hopefully he's back for that Sunday night game, because you're missing a hole on your team, and it's not just on the field, right? When you lose Fred Warner, it's off the field. And George Kittle's that guy. George Kittle's that locker room leader. He's that guy that gets everybody pumped up on the
yeah,
sidelines. He's talking, he's going at it, and when he's in street clothes, it's different. It just is. When you're out there and you got your helmet and your pads, and then you're getting the guys pumped up, they know they're out. You're going to be standing right next to them when battle starts. And George Kittle, he'll be a huge boost for the 49ers if they can get him going on Sunday night. So watch for him to have a big game if he is back in there. He's been itching for it. I mean, out since week one. Come on, this guy, all he wants to do is play football.
yeah, of course, yeah. He's the it's that guy's pump you up, man. He's that fire, right? Every team's got to have that guy.
He's one of the yin or the yang, right? Him and Fred Warner. So he's whatever flip side of that he is, and hopefully he can give a little jolt to that 49er offense. And John just has played extremely well in his place. I mean, the 49ers, it's not like they haven't skipped a beat, because they definitely have. Because it's not just what George Kittle does on the sideline as a leader or in the passing game. One of his biggest contributions is his run blocking. And so the 49ers run game is extremely low. Their yards per carry is one of the lowest in the NFL. And I think that has a large part to do with George Kittle not being in there. So I think that'd be a huge boost to Christian McCaffrey in the run game as well, getting it back in there.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Christian McCaffrey also top in the receiving yards category as well. Found that stat the other day. I'm like, yeah, because they throw in the football a lot, then they have this
Yeah.
year, so I expect to see him in the slot a lot. So it's gonna be, oh man, he's a beast.
Can't wait.
So yeah, man. I mean, it's gonna be a fun matchup. I'm excited for it. Like I said, I mean, very pivotal game for both of us here at this point in the season. So, if yeah, it's gonna be tough. But yeah, man. Other than that, I mean, any other last thoughts, notes that you wanted to kind of get out, man, before we head off?
Excited for tonight's football game. I mean, we got the Thursday night football game. We got the Bengals. We got the Steelers, and this is a division game. And you got, yeah, oh man, old man quarterbacks, right? It could be one of those shootouts, right, where they both throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, or it could be one of those games where it's like 9-6. And I'm hoping, obviously, for the latter, right? Or for
Yeah.
the former. I'm rooting for a shootout tonight, but I want to see how Joe Flacco looks in his second game now with the Bengals. He's got weapons, with Chase Brown and Jamar Chase and T Higgins, and see if he's figured it out, because I know that Mike Tomlin was not stoked that the Browns traded him within division to a team that they're going to have to play a week later. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see what those guys can do. And just for my fantasy team alone, I lost Lamar Jackson, and then I have Jackson Dart as my backup, and he was starting against Denver this weekend, so I had to find another
Oh
option. So
boy.
I'm going with Flacco tonight. So let's
Yeah.
see. Hopefully
Smart.
he can score some touchdowns. So let's go.
Yeah. That's a smart move. Yeah. I have the Denver defense on my fantasy team, so.
Dude, that's another reason why I couldn't start Jackson Dart.
So I mean they're just phenomenal, man. But
Yeah.
yeah, so Nick, I mean it's gonna be fun, just love football season, man, always, and we appreciate you coming on, man, and giving the insight here from the 49er side of things. And like I said, I'm excited, man, for Sunday night. So
Yeah, same here. I mean, good luck to you guys, but hopefully we beat you 28-0. Yeah.
Oh wow. No, wow. Not even give us a field goal, man. That's crazy.
Nope, nope, shutout.
Okay, well, hey, Nick, thank you for joining us again, man. And we'll be talking to you very soon.
You bet. Hey, thanks a lot, Jaden.
Of course, man. Thank you.